Yo, what's good, guys? Just wanted today to talk about why your freedom is worth more than money. So the pursuit of money is constantly being done every single day, every month. Everyone in especially first world countries are in the pursuit of money. But at the end, the whole reason why they're in pursuit of that money is to have freedom. It's to have nice things in life. It's to have a nice house. It's to have nice clothing. It's to be able to afford food, to be able to afford shelter, to be able to afford water, gas, everything. But did you ever think to stop for a second and say, what is the meaning of all this? Like at the end, okay, let's say I make $1 million a month. Okay, I'm gonna have the nicer things in life, but the whole point of it is to actually have the freedom to be able to take to be able to do things you want to do. And personally, I don't think you need a lot of money to do that. Like they say, the income to actually have that freedom in life is around 175 to 200 grand a year, especially if you don't have kids. That's around the income you need to actually have complete freedom and to have passive income working for you if you're investing at least 20% of your income. So, you can even achieve this with like 2 grand to 2 to 4K a month. You can achieve this freedom. Like if you're paying your rent, you have food, you have clothes on your back, and you're able to do fun things in your hobbies, well, you already beat majority of the entrepreneurs and the money chasers who are chasing that freedom. Because at the end of the day, like, you can make all the money, but you need the freedom. The freedom is what is gonna allow you to have no stress in life. It's gonna allow you to be happy, and to actually live an actual fulfilling life where you can have hobbies, and you might not have extra income to be able to help others, but you will be able to eventually get the income, having the extra mental clarity from having the freedom of going to work all the time. If you're trying to build a life, well, let me go back to that topic actually. So the mental clarity will allow you to find other opportunities to find more money to help others. But let me go back to not back to, but working overtime. Like, if your whole entire life is built off of your overtime pay, like not even your base pay but your whole overtime pay, well, like, what are you gonna do when that stops? Because that overtime pay is not gonna go on forever. Like, you can't work forever. You can't build a life off of overtime income. There's no possibility there. So you have to really think about it. Like, freedom is what everyone is looking for, and I've actually seen it firsthand in third world countries. Like when I went to Jamaica, like, a lot of people, they weren't really working like that, but they had that freedom. They had the freedom that we're all chasing. In the first world country we live in, America, Canada, England, like, everybody is in the pursuit of income and the pursuit of money. But when you go back to these countries, your homeland, you see everybody actually building a community where they're able to have freedom in life. They're not working as hard as people in first world countries are working to live. Like, they're increasing your living expenses every single week and every single month, but wages are staying stagnant. And a lot of people are like wondering, like, I'm working, like, it's like a hamster wheel. I'm going around this hamster wheel constantly, weekly, monthly. My wages are staying stagnant. They're barely coming up with, inflation is like, they're not equaling out. It's not equaling out. So how the hell am I gonna beat this? I can't even survive. Like, and like, it just doesn't make any sense. And I think getting a lesser paying job But having more time in your life is the best thing you could do for yourself, because like more money nowadays, it doesn't mean anything, because it's just going to be taken up by rising gas prices and rising food prices and rising house prices. So what matters more is to have that time freedom and take a lesser paying job, so you can actually have the time to figure out different things in your life that you actually care about. You know, you don't want to end up 30 years going by chasing in the pursuit of money, and you have a ton of money saved up, and now you're like, well, where was my life 30 years? Where did the 30 years of my life go? I had no hobbies. You know, I accomplished a lot within work, but you know, my friends, my family, things I've done, I haven't made a lot of memories, you know. And then you could possibly die of a heart attack, and you're looking back and you're like, damn, I did nothing but chase money that was printed somewhere at a, they're printing money, you know, every day is being printed, like, and then on top of that, there's just numbers on a screen, especially if it's in a bank. If it's on, you check your phone and there's just a bunch of numbers on a screen, you know. It's not even like, or it's a piece of cash paper. Like back in the day, like they used to have trades, you know. Some of like money's actually a new thing too. Like it's something that was invented, like, when was it invented? I really don't even know the date, but I know it was invented you know, a couple of thousands of years ago or so, or like around the new times, like what was it, the 1200s or something like that. But before, they used to do trades. They used to trade. Okay, I got a donkey, you know, you got bread. Okay, here's my donkey for your bread. Okay, you know, I got a chicken. I got a group of chickens here. You got, you know, wheat. Let's trade. Let's make the exchange, you know. Okay, you know, I want to get a house. Well, okay, you know, I can go to get a plot of land and I can go and build my house. I can go and find the bricks and the stones and stuff like that, and I can go and make it trades and exchanges for these bricks, and I could build my house. But now, you know, you got big companies and big corporations that are, you know, hiring people to work, and honestly, like, they're really taking advantage of people. You know, they're paying them minimum wages to do the hardest of the hardest work. Then you got the people of the top of the food chain who aren't doing anything. You know, they're answering a couple of emails and walking around drinking tea in the office and making the top wages, you know, because they're in command. They control the lower workers that are doing the most of the work, you know, the big corporations. And a lot of people are working extra hard, extra hard, but have no time freedom. So what is the answer to all this, right? How do you get the time freedom? You know, this isn't just a video complaining about, you know, big corporations and everything else. Well, how do you get the time freedom? Well, number one, you have to change your mindset. You have to have the mindset of, I'm gonna do something about this. You know, I'm gonna take control of my own life, and my goal is to have that freedom. You know, whether it's like 2 years or whether it's like 5 years, my goal is to actually have that time freedom. So when you have that mindset and you're like, I'm going to take advantage of it, and I'm going to make sure I have that time freedom, you're already on the right path. So now your eyes are opened up. It's like when you take those glasses off. I forgot that movie when they had the glasses on and they could see all the scams in the world, you know, all the advertisements, every place asking for your money. Well, when you take it off, when you put it on, so you need to put the glasses on. You say, oh, I see how this works now. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere wants my money. The whole thing is an exchange. Everybody wants my money. Everybody wants the income. So when you put the glasses on, you realize, you're like, oh shit. Okay. Now the next thing you need to do is you need to start stacking your bread. You need to start cutting back on some of the things you do. Start stacking your bread. Like, okay, I need to go ahead and save this money. And not just to save money. You can't save money to save money. You have to save money and have actual something that you're actually looking to put that money into, because remember what I said before, money is being printed every day, every second. It's not real. It's not real money. Money is not real. It's being printed every day, every second. We use it to exchange goods and services. So you need to do that too. You can't save money. You can't bury it somewhere and then it's still gonna be good. Like, come on, like $1,000 10 years ago or 100 years ago, $1,000 can buy a lot. It can't buy nothing now. And to get that $1,000 100 years ago or 20 years ago, it took a long time. It took a lot of working hours. So now you got to stack your money. You got to figure out where you're going to deploy it. So that's number 2. Stack your bread, and then now start finding opportunities where you're going to deploy that money. So after that, now what you can do is, like, here's the thing, right? If you don't want to be a business owner, what you can do is you can figure out what skill can you acquire that's going to lead you into an easier job, right? Like, for me, I used to work at the grocery store, and I would still go back if I needed to, If I had to get money, I would still go back to the grocery store. But I was working at the grocery store, doing the most, like packing up heavy boxes and doing all this crazy stuff. And then I was like, you know what? I could just go ahead and get a security license. Like, I could literally go do security, and it's way less work. Like, it's not breaking my back. It's a lot easier, and it's pretty much the same pay. So for me to find that opportunity, I had to go invest in my skill set. So, and that's the number one thing. You have to go and look for opportunities now where you can invest in your skill set, where you can get an easier job that either pays equal amount or more amount. And then now, after you go and do that, now you can buy your time back and you can buy your freedom back. Because it's like, oh, I get more time now in life to do more things. And that's if you don't want to be an entrepreneur or a business owner. But if you do want to be a business owner or entrepreneur, now you can go ahead and find out more opportunities, use that money to find more opportunities where you can make income, earned income, because you can make passive income from a lower paying job with the money you have saved. You have to figure out how you can make more earned income. So that's being active in your business, selling services, freelancing, and using your skills that you learn with the free time that you have after work to monetize that. So find out some skills you can learn after work, or maybe side hustles like selling on eBay or flipping different things, collecting the cash so you can make more money and more and more and more and more and more money, and find out different earned income streams, earned income, not passive, earned income, so you can make that 6 figures or that 200,000 a year eventually. It takes a while. It's going to take a long time. It's not going to be overnight. It's not going to be next year. It's not going to be 2 years. It might be 5 years, but you can guarantee in 5 years, you'll have that freedom. So, well, that's all I want to talk about today, guys. Make sure you subscribe. In my bio, I have a link, an ebook actually, that is going to teach you on how you can make $500 to $1,000 passively a month. And I have all the steps laid out, and I talk about how this is the amount of money you need for your principal, and this is how you can invest in the certain stocks that will give you that much money. It's not going to be overnight. It's not going to be next year unless you have that principal amount. It's going to take a little while, and I have all the steps laid out. So subscribe. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.